Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my first YouTube and Google Hangout. Thanks very much for joining me. I don't know how you came by this Hangout today, but thank you very much for joining me. And the subject of this Hangout is the changing health across your life. And the definition of health really does change across your life. And what I'm going to present to you today is from some slideshows from a PowerPoint, which is slides, and basically just cover off on different phases and groups of ages that we would experience different health issues. So thanks very much, and look forward to your comments. At the end, I'll give you a link where you can find me, and feel free to also subscribe. So I'm just going to cut across to the slideshow now. So what I want to cover, as I said, is lifetime health and you, because over our lifetime, health really has different meanings. And so the age groups that I'm going to be looking at is the early years, maybe toddler is not quite the right word here, I'll even put down infant a bit later, teenage health, midlife health, and then later health, as well as after that we'll look at what the differences are today. So common newborn issues would be hearing and sight issues. It's always important when a baby's born to check that they can hear properly and that they've got good vision. Also to make sure, that they don't have any congenital conditions, multiple sclerosis or other things like that. But it's also, as the child grows up, it's important skin issues, preventing skin rashes, preventing coughs and injuries, preventing sudden death is critical as well. And of course then there's also first aid, what to do if the child sustains an injury. And then I've put down here common infant health issues, but I think it's probably a bit more expanded from infant. And it's from the time that a child becomes an infant to the time, I guess, I'm looking at when they go into preteen stage. And in here, it's about preventing burns. It's about dealing with cuts and scrapes. Maybe it's even about broken bones or whooping cough, when kids are younger, or preventing infections and poisoning. But it also becomes in this age group, or from this age and through our lives really, an emotional issue, like our emotional health. How is our health emotionally and behaviourally as well? And again, sometimes it's about repairing after the event, so it's about first aid. So what about teenagers? How's health for them? Commonly, I guess it's broken bones, it's wounded pride even, it's social and emotional, skin issues with acne and other skin issues. But it's also about growing bodies and am I too skinny, am I too fat, how does that work in for me? And it's also, again, sometimes stuff happens and it's about first aid, it's about fixing the issues. But then we move into adulthood, and we maybe got kids or we don't have kids, but we've still moved into adulthood after teenage years. And in this phase, health is more about preventing days off work. It's about keeping fit so that we can do the things we want to do. It's about avoiding accidents or minimising stress. Health, again, is emotional. It's about, emotions and relationships. And then a bit later on in our adult lives, we start to become really conscious about cholesterol and how we're eating and heart disease and risks of major degenerative diseases. But then as we move out of this phase, in our working years, I guess put it, into our later life where, we're in retirement, broken bones become an issue again, and dementia and Alzheimer's, skin issues, mobility, loss of hunger. There's a lot of different things. And you can see that across our lives that, in fact, health really has different meanings and contexts. And, again, in later life, sometimes about first aid. So why is it different today? Well, health really, when we look at health today, we think of how medicine handles things. And really, what we find is that medicine deals with the symptoms. It doesn't deal with the cause. It doesn't look at what caused that in the first instance or why. And so medicine is really about dealing with symptoms. But if we look deeper, really, health is also about our image. So we, exercise for our image. When it comes to diet, our diet is really skewed. It's more skewed away from fruits and veggies and more skewed to maybe carbs and proteins. But it's also, in a lifestyle point of view, our diet is about fast foods, sugars, trans fats, and even gluten, which I won't go into now. But, our lifestyle is very sedentary. We don't tend to run around and exercise a lot. We sit at an office desk, or, we sit behind a piece of machinery and work. And it's not about a lot of really physical labour these days. And of course, stress is important as a lifestyle issue for us. But then agriculture has also changed, and that means more chemical fertilizers. It means insecticides being sprayed onto the foods that we eat. And it's also about foods being picked green and ripening as they head towards the store for us to buy. And so that's what I want to cover today. And here's my Facebook page that you can go to, or you can subscribe to this YouTube clip. So that's what I want to cover today, is really a bit of an introduction that health for us is a bit more than, am I healthy? Am I on the right diet? It's about a lot of things, and it changes over our life. And it's so important that we realise that our bodies start to degenerate from the day we're born. And we need to look after our body right from the day we're born, rather than just wait until we get towards the end of our lives. We need to be looking and focusing on how our life is really shaping, and how our cells, because we've got 53 trillion of them, are actually replicating after themselves. So these are things I'm going to expand on in future Google Hangouts, and I look forward to speaking with you again. So thanks very much, and enjoy good health until we speak again. Okay.